It seems Tesla likes to continuously push boundaries when it comes to automotive technology. There seems to be no line drawn on the possibility and the impossibility. You should know what I'm talking about already. Its autopilot system has left a lot of people stunned beyond comprehension and has caused a big stir on the internet. But that seems that is not how far the automotive company will go. The new steering wheel setup, which is likely to prepare drivers for a fully autonomous future, was unveiled. Definitely, you should know by now how the world received this news. In today's video, we will be discussing one of the new upgrades to Tesla car models, which is the Yoke steering wheel. Is it really practical, or is it just something that should remain in sci-fi movies or video games? Let's find out. Tesla's Yoke steering wheel is one of the most talked about topics since late January of this year. Ever since the announcement of the racing steering column, there is always a first time for everything. Cars originally didn't make use of steering wheels. They did use tillers, which were used in controlling the front wheels. It was later on changed after 1894, when Alfred van Charon entered in the Paris-Rouen race, a panhard that he modified with a steering wheel, and boom, 4 years later, the French manufacturer of cars introduced and established a steering wheel on every one of its models. Soon, every other manufacturer followed suit and spread to America, where the first mass-market car was equipped and provided with a steering wheel by Alexander Winton in 1898, and the trend and modifications or improvements continued. In real-world uses, the Yoke steering wheel can be found in airplane cockpits and vehicles that are of different steering requirements compared to a car. Now Tesla has brought this idea into the production of a car. Did you know that the Yoke steering wheel concept is not something that just sprung out of thin air recently? Yes, it's been tried before. It is a long way from being a new idea. It has been considered countless times by many automakers, but there has never been enough practical proof for it to reach production. In 1953, Harley Earl got the inspiration from aircraft design, and he used a Yoke steering wheel in the turbine-powered Firebird concept car at GM's Motorama. The car looked very much like a missile on 4 wheels. It was later seen decades after on the kit 1982 Pontiac Firebird, the artificially intelligent supercar that got more attention than the actor David Hasselhoff behind its wheels. The car eventually became a fixture in video games. It has been a long time since Tesla made a refreshment or a noteworthy revision to its Model S and Model X, 2 of its flagship cars. After the revealing that the 2 vehicles would go through a lot of interior overhauls, there have been several enthusiastic responses to the upgrading. The update to these models includes a brand new interior, including a new powertrain, but one of the biggest changes and the perk of the update is the new Yoke steering wheel. The world-class performance specifications, its updated HVAC system, and the new center screen, amongst others, have enticed many to order this new car. However, there are noses up in the air about the Yoke steering wheel that was included, and some others are enthusiastic about the inclusion. And there is also a set of people that don't know what to think about it. Therefore, this standard feature has sprung the curiosity of some and filled them with questions. Even those that made their orders have reached out to Teslarati, a multi-platform media company and leading lifestyle brand with a focus on Tesla, SpaceX, and ventures affiliated with Elon Musk, asking if their purchase will be coming with the rumored half steering wheel instead of a full circle column, and also when their new vehicle will be available. There are no definite answers to all of this, even though The Kilowatts, a YouTube channel dedicated to electric cars, said and claimed that all 3 of Tesla's new Model S variants, or refreshed vehicles, and that is including the long-range variant, will include the Yoke steering wheel, while others have made their own claim that the Yoke steering wheel will only be available with the Plaid and Plaid Plus variants. And like was said earlier, some don't even have any inkling or clue of what to expect. It was at first strange that the cited prototypes after Tesla unveiled the vehicle featured the normal steering wheel. That is the normal round one instead of a butterfly-shaped yoke. Later on, though, the Yoke steering wheel prototype pictures started going viral. The time Tesla spoke with its different Tesla showrooms around the country, the full conversation confirmed that no one actually knows what ultimate plan Tesla has for the Yoke. One of the showrooms claimed that all 3 Model S vehicles would be equipped with the yoke because the online design studio shows that they are with a yoke, not putting into place the option of a full-circle steering wheel. Another of the other showrooms said there are no detailed steering wheel design options at the moment, creating more confusion and enthusiasm for the unknown. As of now, there is yet to be any delivery of the new Model X or S vehicles to customers on the part of Tesla. Elon Musk recently said that the Plaid variants still have some fine details that are yet to be addressed. Tesla's new car model's interior design has a horizontal primary design that gives it a classic look. There is also a change in the positioning of the cup holder. It is near the wheels and closer to the grasps of the driver. There is an inclusion of a door pocket to these new car models, unlike the previous cars that do not have them. The new vehicle model also includes new mega castings and new aerodynamics that are designed for efficiency. Tesla's creation of the yoke steering wheel is creative and also practical. Many designs of cars are horrendously inefficient, take up so much space, and are at least inconvenient, if not potentially rather dangerous. Not only does the yoke steering wheel have an unusual fun factor and profile for grips, but we can also safely assume that this creation is birthed for the vision of the future. Let's go back to history and look at how the steering wheel has evolved along the way. For small vehicles like 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers, you can easily make a U-turn by turning the handle just a few degrees. However, in the early days, this was very difficult for car and truck drivers, as they will need to apply so much torque to move the steering assembly. That's when the reduction mechanism came into play, also called the gearbox, to reduce the required torque input. You might have seen in old trucks, in order to turn the wheel for a few degrees, the driver will need to keep rotating the steering wheel due to the gearbox, as it would not be possible by human effort. Since the introduction of power steering, an electric motor is used to assist the driver to apply the torque, so the driver doesn't need to apply much torque to steering, and also with fewer rotations to make a U-turn. However, doing fewer rotations is still not the best and laziest way. For every problem, Tesla seems to have found a solution, and that leads to the introduction of the drive-by-wire, also known as steer-by-wire technology. Vehicles that are equipped with this technology use wire to transfer data from the sensor to the motor, instead of having some kind of mechanical linkage between the steering control and the driving wheels. Through drive-by-wire, you can dynamically adjust the steering ratio however you want, which means you don't have to waste so much energy to make a U-turn. Just a few degrees is enough. This makes me think that one of the reasons for the look of the yoke steering wheel is that Tesla is aimed at reducing the steering control to as simple a form as they possibly can do, while simultaneously making adjustments to making it still function and lead to the removal of the stalks and also the shrinking of the controls down to the minimum profile that they think would be accepted by the regulators. It's widely known that one of Tesla's goals is the future of self-driving. They aim to build a self-driving, autopiloted car that is autonomous, vehicles that are capable of sensing their environment and moving safely with little or without any human input. To achieve this aim, there is the need for a combination of advanced control systems that can interpret sensory pieces of information to identify appropriate navigation paths, as well as obstacles and relevant signage. Therefore, autopiloting has little need for a steering wheel. The yoke steering wheel is evidence that Tesla wants to expand their artificial intelligence into even manual driving. This flexibility is therefore one of the significant foundations with which Tesla is able to expand the number of options for its vehicle's designs. However, there are some concerns about its safety, especially how it may possibly present a few problems for everyday driving, which includes inconvenience in tight turns, parking lots, and navigating them. These autopilots are not efficient in that area. Because the refreshed incoming Model S and Model X look like something that seems implausible and looks like something that can only be seen in a sci-fi movie, it has raised a lot of eyebrows. It was stated before by the NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that they are not able to determine if the steering wheel meets the required federal motor vehicle safety standards. standards. The latest statement of the organization as regards the future of the weird or odd-shaped yoke wheel lacked clarity and was not clearly expressed. In one of their statements to Teslarati, they said NHTSA is aware of the recently launched Tesla Steering Yoke in certain Model S vehicles. We requested and received information from Tesla about the steering yoke, and we remain actively engaged with the company during our review. NHTSA routinely engages with auto manufacturers and suppliers to better understand the new technologies and features they develop and introduce to the U.S. fleet. As reported and stated by NHTSA's FMVSS, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, Tesla has the right to determine if or if not any of their new pieces of equipment meet up or will meet up with the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, making use of their own analytic methods. But at the end of the day, the final word belongs to the NHTSA. And as was earlier said, the yoke steering wheel has no turn signal stalks, which indicates that it will make use of AI to indicate instead. But I think before Tesla would have considered incorporating this concept in their new upgrade, certain strategies would have been put in place, not excluding its safety too. Is this upgrade just one of the off-the-wall visions of the world's richest man, or is there an inspiring next step towards that full self-driving autopilot future? Well, we will not really know until people start receiving their orders.